Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Michael Smith. I co-host Numbers Never Lie weekdays at noon on ESPN2. Most important, I'm a huge fan of our guest of honor. You guys big Star Trek fans? You guys are Trekkies? So I guess you can sit back, make yourself comfortable, imagine you're at 10 forward, order up a drink. If you got any problems, concerns, questions, you can ask them for the very first time in the history of Comic-Con. You can ask them yourself to Guinan. Give it up to Whoopi Goldberg. Thank you. Very first Comic-Con appearance in history. How does it feel?
Well, it's really nice. People actually were glad to see me. So that was welcoming. Hi. Oh. Thanks.
They're trying to take it all in. They're like, wow, that's really Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, I'm not as short as you thought, and I'm not as thin as you thought.
Well, so hold on. You know what? I'm not even going to mess around with this because, like them, we watch you. I watch everything you've done. We watch you every day at home.
Oh.
My wife said, "Do not come home without a selfie." You and Whoopi. So.
Oh. Love it.
So that's done. I can go home.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you. I tried to find something great for y'all, and since I figured a lot of things you might want to know about Guinan would have to do with Star Trek, I thought I'd wear my starriest shoes.
Well, you've literally done it all. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, a lot of films, a lot of television. But what was it about this character, or everything you've done in your career, that made her special to you?
Well, for me, she was an extension of someone who made me feel better as a kid, because I always loved science fiction and I always loved horror movies and stuff. And, really before 1962, 63, there were no black people in horror movies and in science fiction. And so you're watching these movies that are supposed to happen in the future and there's no black people. It made me a little uncomfortable. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then suddenly, Gene Roddenberry put this really interesting show on with the hottest black woman anyone had seen. I mean, the shell, everybody wanted to bang the school. Sorry, little kid. The shell just got everybody going. And I thought, not only is she stunningly beautiful, but she's the communications officer. And so she wasn't cleaning anybody's bunks. She was in charge of her section of making that ship run. And I just was thrilled when I saw her. And so LeVar Burton and I were having lunch one day, and I said, dude, what are you doing? And he said, oh, I'm about to do Star Trek. I was like, what? They're doing Star Trek again? Is that possible? He said, oh yeah. I said, wait. Who's Kirk? And he said, English cat, Patrick Stewart. I said, what? What's wrong with the other? He said, well, maybe they're a little old for it. I was like, oh, okay. But who else? And then I said, so, can I be on it? And he said, what? I said, you don't understand. I explained the story to him. He said, I will tell Gene. A year goes by. I don't hear anything. And I see LeVar. I said, dude, did you even tell them? He said, no, I told them more than once. And they don't believe it. I said, can I call? Let's call right now. And so we called. And I said, I need an appointment to come and see you because I really want to do this show. And they said, well, you need to come talk to us because we don't understand it. And
they didn't understand that Whoopi Goldberg wanted to do this show?
Yeah, they didn't understand. And when I told Gene, he hadn't realized it. See, he hadn't realized that he had done something revolutionary for people of color, Now we knew that there were, you know, there was going to be a lot of interesting stuff. We'd seen the Jetsons, but there were no black people in the Jetsons either. And I said, this gave me hope. And I just, you know, it's too late for me to give more hope because we all know we're going to be in the future now. But just in case some little girl wonders, I'd like to be there. In case she has a question, she'll turn it on and there I'll be, she'll go, oh. And he said, okay. So he built me 10 Forward and he wrote me that character and gave it to me as a gift. And, you know, yeah. And so, The Associate. Yes, a good one. No, it is. But yeah.
You can, okay. But one of the things that stands out about that story, at least for me, and I can understand why Gene would say, I don't believe that Whoopi Goldberg really wants to do this, and it was similar to, I saw an interview with you, I think it was Oprah's Masterclass, where you talked about how you wrote a letter to Alice Walker saying that you played dirt on the floor if they ever made a color purple movie. Given all you've done and how talented and how versatile you are, you have a hunger where you're not afraid to ask, I just want to be a part of this, no matter what the size of the role is.
That hasn't stopped. I mean, that's how I got into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Because I explained that, you know, the first Ninja Turtles came out, my kid was little, and it would have been so cool for her to have seen me be part of it. So I begged and then it didn't happen. And then they made another one, and it was like, please let me be it, please let me be the Ninja Turtles, please. And they were like, okay. And it never happened. And so I was in the office of someone at Paramount, and I saw something laid out. I said, dude, are you doing, I said, dude, a lot. It's very odd. But I said, folks, are you doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? And I said, yeah, we're doing. I said, can you find just a little spot for me somewhere? And they're like, yeah, okay. And so I went and I did it, and then they called me and said, we want some more of you in there. So my part kept getting a little bigger and bigger, and so now I'm in it. I'm really happy.
And speaking of kids, I was telling you earlier, Sugar Plum Ballerina, my daughter eats those books up. What is it at this point in your career, given all you've done and all you're still doing, that keeps you hungering for more and wanting to challenge yourself and broaden your horizons?
Well, I just don't want to be stuck doing one thing. And, you know, I was very lucky. I was having trouble getting work about 6 years ago. And The View came along and said, hey, would you like to come and play with us? And it was great because I needed the gig. And I was like, yeah. So, you know, I've been doing that, and I've been writing other stuff. And I just, you know, I don't want to be bored. I'm easily bored, and that's never a good spot for me to be in.
Well, speaking of bored, we got a room full of people who are probably bored hearing me talk. A lot of them are waiting to ask you questions. Let's get to the question and answer.
Okay.
They've been waiting to talk to you. Let's start over here, and state your name and ask your question.
My name's Adam. Whoopi, thank you so much for being here at Comic-Con.
Thank you.
I'm just curious, what was going through your mind and your body, and how did you feel right before you began to host the Academy Awards?
I thought, I'm never wearing a girdle again. I hate doing this dress-up crap. And I'm gonna have a blast. And that's what I did. I had a great time because I understood the thing that you need to know when you host those kind of shows is nobody actually cares what you think after the first 4 minutes. We're happy to sit and watch, you know, the opening number, but really, after that, get out of the way and did I win or not? And as long as you know that people are waiting to find out if they won, you can make the pace go the way you need to. And so it was great fun for me, you know. And they let me do it a couple of times.
Yes.
Hey guys, how are you? Anyway, I was wondering if either of you could hit that nay-nay.
Can we do? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
You don't know how to hit the nay-nay?
Oh. Sit this one out.
Okay.
Maybe later. but thank you for the request.
Is that something you do? You hit the night now lot?
No, but actually, truth be told, I did do it on television once.
You hit the night now lot?
I did. It was a great moment in Numbers Never Lie history.
Right.
We retired it after that. It's a dance that young people do nowadays.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I wasn't gonna get up.
That's why I said go ahead and sit down. Yeah. No, it ain't. Yeah.
But can you do it?
Oh yeah.
Let me see.
Did it?
Hoo-ah. Come on, man. Come on.
You want to do it?
Come on.
Okay.
For you to.
I think so. All right, yours is better than mine.
Well, you know.
That's why she's awesome. She'll do anything.
I'll do a lot of things. There's some things I won't do. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Next question.
Hi, Whoopi. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
My name is Jenny. We have a question from the Frankly chat app. User Debbie asks, what superhero do you relate most to?
I'm afraid to tell you this, but none of those women look anything like anyone I know. Which is why I've begun to write a comic superhero woman who is a little more saggy and has a little bit of behind. Because as wonderful as those, women are with everything, that is not me. And I've been a comic book fanatic all my life. And I've never seen anybody like what I'm writing. So sit tight. She will be here, I hope, in the next year. And know that I'm writing her for the women who have, sort of meandered through the change and, all the things that happen. And I've married the two together, and I think it's funny. So tell them I haven't seen her yet, and once I find the right person to draw her, I'll put her up so people can give me their opinions.
Thank you.
All right. Have you, speaking of superheroes, you're obviously really good friends with Sir Patrick Stewart. Have you seen Days of Future Past?
I did.
You like it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You know what it is? Look, I don't know.
We family. We can talk. We family.
Why is everybody 4? Why is all the women 4 years? Why is everybody perfect? Superheroes, if they don't have any angst, the guys always have angst and it's fine, but the women never seem to have any issues. They have perfect bodies. You look at the movie and my favorite girl, Jennifer Lawrence, she's blue and then she's naked.
Right.
And it's like, it's perfect. Why would she be bitching? But I want some of those women to be damn,
So they asked what superhero you related to, and you explained why you didn't relate to any of them. So who's your favorite superhero then?
I don't know.
That's why your comic book is going to change that.
I think it's just, look, I think that comics, if you're a comic book person and you're a 50-year-old woman, you have different experiences, and you don't want to just think that only the 2-year-olds can save the world. Because when you're of a certain age, you know stuff. So you're valuable on a team. You shouldn't be pushed to the side, especially as a superhero, because superhero older women, they're not playing with you.
We'll give you over in 2 minutes.
Well, not 2 minutes, but and I know there are little kids here, so I'm about to curse, I'm sorry. But a woman in her 50s will beat your ass. And give her a superpower.
She ain't got time to mess around.
She doesn't have time. And all the young women out there will say, oh man, Uh-oh. You know, because she's not playing. You know.
Yes.
Hi, Whoopi. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
I'm from the Frankly social team, and I just wanted to ask one of our listeners, person on the message board, wanted to know if you can live in a comic book universe, would you like to live in the Marvel universe or the DC comic universe, and why?
Dark horse. See, older women don't play. Hi, baby.
Hi, Whoopi. First of all, my name is Cynthia. I'm from Center City, Philadelphia. I'm a teacher.
Hey.
And I want to thank you, first of all, for the beautiful image you give as an actress and many, many other talents that you have.
Thank you.
You are greatly appreciated. My question is, what advice do you have to young people who may want to go into Hollywood or into an acting or producing or directing career?
Well, the first thing I ask is this something you want to do because you love it? If you're going into it to be a star, I can't help you. I don't know anything about how that works. It was a fluke with me, and I can't make it repeat for somebody. But if you're somebody who wants to be an actor, you can go everywhere and do all of that. You can go into theaters and say to people, I'd like to, you know, be part of your theater company. I'd like to learn to direct. I want to learn to be an actor. I mean, stand-ups, everything. Go to the places where you can do it. And if you're not looking for stardom and you're looking to soothe your soul because it's what you have to do, then you won't have an issue. If you're looking to be a star, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, Whoopi again. This is Kendra. We
Hey.
chatted. You signed my shoe. I wanted to tell you, thank you for bringing up people being 50, and I think we should have a coming of age when you're 51. That's when you get your superpowers, instead of when they hit puberty, when they hit menopause, and then everyone would die. And I want to thank you for being.
That's what I'm doing, baby. That's exactly what I'm doing.
I will be buying it, and if you need an extra superpower, I'm going to be Hot Flash. I can make toast with my arms. So, anyway, you've been a wonderful inspiration both in science and also in comedy, and that's my question. What's your creative comedy approach? Do you write regularly? Do you write impulsively? And how long do you work on a bit before you use it?
I just get out and talk.
Okay.
I don't write it down because it takes too long.
You must have a fantastic memory.
Well, no, I'm an improviser.
Okay.
And so I have 4 or 5 or 10 subjects I know I want to talk about, and that's what I do. The issue for me is, if I've done it before, I'm going to spend a lot of time honing it, you know.
Okay.
And I don't want to waste a lot of time doing that. I deal with certain things that I know I'm going to talk about, and then, you know, if something's happened in the world, I'll put that in there, and then, you know, I know I'm going to talk about my grandkids and my new great-granddaughter. And so, you know, I go out and I improvise, and some nights it's brilliant, and some nights it's okay.
Okay.
But it's never boring.
No, your stuff is fantastic. Your one-woman show really inspired me, so.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, Hot Flash.
Flash. That sounds.
Hey.
Hi, Whoopi. My question is kind of similar to the woman before mine. I was wondering, what is the best piece of advice that you have ever received, and what could be the best piece of advice you could ever give?
The best piece of advice I've ever given, like, received ever in life?
Ever in life.
In the history of life.
In the history of life.
On Earth.
Well, basically, it's going to sound crazy because it's biblical. But the best advice I've ever been given is do unto others as you want them to do unto you. I know. But it makes perfect sense, because if you don't want to be messed with, don't mess with people. It means a lot. And what was the other question?
The give and receive. So whatever.
The best piece of advice advice I can give you.
Give to me or anybody here.
Okay, well, if you're a performer or an artist of any sort, or somebody who wants to do something in life and you're not sure, there's a great book called Letters to a Young Artist, I think, by Rilke. That, you know it? It's a great book, right? And basic premise is, a writer writes to Rilke, who was an amazing poet, and says, I want to be a writer. I don't know, am I a writer? Can you read my stuff? And he basically says, I can't tell you if that's what you are. Only you can tell yourself if that's what you are. If you get up in the morning and that's what you got to do, then that's what you are. But don't ask other people to tell you who and how. It's up to you. And that's the same advice I will give to you.
Thank
It's
you.
a great book, too. Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
I loved it when you were on Star Trek. It was like two of my favorite things.
Thank you.
I had a question, he stole it, so I'm kind of lost. It was kind of a question he asked.
Oh, your question got asked. Well, you look good.
Can I just get a happy birthday because I couldn't think of any other questions? I'm sorry.
Is it your birthday? Happy birthday, gorgeous.
Happy birthday.
Hi.
Hello, Whoopi. How are you today?
Good.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm a big fan now. I used to be a small fan.
Thank you. And thank your parents for letting you watch me.
Certainly. I just wanted to say thank you again for being here and making yourself available to us. We really, really appreciate it. My question for you today, you have had a glorious career and
I'm not dead.
There are always dry spells when you've got a career, and that goes for anybody. Have you ever had those dry spells, and if so, how do you get through that?
Well, it's only dry if you don't have anything else to do. And that's why I write and I do kids' books and I, design weird things for my friends, and that's why I stay busy, because careers do go up and down, and you have a career and then 30 years later suddenly you're not the hottest thing in the room. I knew it was coming, so I was prepared for it. But that it is what it is, and as long as you know that you're capable of other stuff, and you don't stop doing it because someone isn't calling. I don't wait to be called as a movie star, I wait to be called as an actor. And as long as I can say to people, hey, listen, I got 4 days I can give you. Do you have anything I can do? Someone said, oh yeah, here. And it's kind of cool. Did that answer the question?
It answers it beautifully,
Okay.
and you're the hottest person here today. I love your shoes.
That's only because I'm sweating.
We got a Ninja Turtles t-shirt over there.
Yay! Hey!
Hi, Whoopi. I saw you earlier at the photo op. I tried not to cry. My name's Beck. I've been a fan of yours since I was like 4. And I love that you just quoted Sister Act 2 before, when you were telling that girl the one advice that you had, that you also told Lauryn Hill in the movie. But,
Where do you think they got it from?
I guess my question for you is, if you could redo any of your movies, I mean, you did so many Jumping Jack Flash, The Color Purple, Girl Interrupted, Sister Act, obviously. Which one would you do, and what would you do differently this time?
None of them except the one where I'm working with the talking dinosaur. Yeah, I made that movie. Theodore Rex, I believe it's called. It's pretty bad. I mean, it's like really bad. I probably would have killed the dinosaur in the first couple of minutes. Listen, I don't have any issues with any of my movies. I've had a good time. I've made all the movies I've wanted to make up until now, and hopefully I'll get to continue to do them. I've worked with some really good people, so I have no regret. regrets, none. I wish I did.
Is it safe to say Color Purple is your favorite? What is your favorite movie that you've ever done?
Well, my actual favorite movie is Lion King. You have to ask me why. Because when I made Lion King, my granddaughter was probably 5. And so I took her to the opening. And we are sitting next to James Earl Jones and his family. And I say to her, Amara, this is the man who plays Simba's father. That's James Earl Jones. And he turns to her with that James Earl Jones voice and says,
hello.
Amara. Hello, Amara. Say it.
Hello, Amara.
That's what she did. She's sitting on my lap. She said, I said, what's the matter, Amara? She said, Darth Vader. It made me so happy, you know. And now that she's older, she's the older. She's now 25. She just had my great grandchild, and she said, Granny, I remember these things where you took me to see these things. She said, but that James Earl Jones voice. Yeah. And I said, I know. She said, but that voice. I said, that's how you knew it was Darth Vader. But she was like, ugh.
I just started showing my kids old enough now to watch the Lion King DVD. So thank you.
Did you explain though a little bit before that you weren't going anywhere?
Yes.
Yeah. Because a lot of
they were mature. They were ready to head.
Because a lot of little kids are like, "Are you showing me this? Are you leaving?" It's like, no.
Yes.
So good.
But thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. You're a big idol for me, so I was wondering, who's the biggest idol for you?
The biggest was my mom. Was my biggest. For me, she was my idol because she was really, she was a really nice woman, and she understood that children have to come into their own, and sometimes they have to fall down and make mistakes. And she never, other parents would say, put that comic book down, but she and I would read, Archie or the romance comics, or, it was just that, she was my hero. She was my hero.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And she got a daughter that's a hero to a lot of people. We have just under 10 minutes left, so let's try to sneak as many questions as we can.
Hey, Whoopi, welcome to Philadelphia. Glad you could come.
Thank you. Glad I could too.
I just wondered, you were saying before about LeVar, with any next generation cast that you keep in touch with?
All of them.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, yeah, I'm in touch with everybody.
Okay, and the second question, can you talk a little bit about comic relief with Billy Crystal and Robin Williams for the great homeless cause? Because you were sensational on that.
Thank you. Well, we did it, and we, actually thought we were going to be able to eliminate hunger in the United States. We weren't able to totally alleviate it, but we gathered a lot of money together, and we hoped that a lot of the young comics would take it on, but they didn't. So Comic Relief lives now in this wonderful shimmery memory. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Yes, you.
I'm a little nervous, so this is a big deal for me, so thank you.
Thank you.
I wrote my question down because I'm shaking, so.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a talkative person, but I'm nervous. First, I want to say I've been a fan of your work from back in your stand-up days through your Oscar award-winning performance in Ghost, and your emotional performance in The Color Purple, and your work on The View. But you are my hero because with all the challenges you've faced over the years, you've managed to be yourself and not imitate Hollywood stereotypes. Can you talk about the challenges you faced over the years in Hollywood to remain the incredible Whoopi Goldberg?
Well, the truth is, I didn't know I was facing any challenges. I just did what I wanted to do. It annoyed a lot of people apparently, but I've just always been me because I'm lazy, fundamentally. I don't want to do a whole lot of messing around. I like to get in and do and say what I think if you ask me. You know, now I get paid to talk, you know, and so I say the things that I believe in, and when I change my mind, I say I changed my mind. And, you know, people will either like you or they won't. And you can't really spend a lot of time worrying about it. You want to be pleasant, but a lot of, you know, you got a big world. Half the world loves you, half the world hates you. That's about okay. So I was prepared for that. You know, I was prepared for that. And, you know, this has been what it is. And I've evolved and grown and gotten, you know, crabby and all kinds of stuff, but I'm pretty good. I'm all right. I mean, I wouldn't live with me if I didn't have to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I had a really dumb question, but I'm just going to change it to, I just want to give you a personal thank you. A few years ago, my cousin Stephanie Gutierrez and her husband Manny were on The View, and they talked about Rett syndrome.
Yes.
And you guys were very welcoming about it.
Yes.
And it meant a lot to our family. And I just wanted to thank you for that.
You know what? You know, I work with him, so
Yeah.
it was great to be able to shed some light on that. And Manny's amazing. He's a great cat, and she's great. And so thank you. But ask the dumb one too.
What's it like to be one of the few people in the world to EGOT? EGOT.
Well, I didn't know I had one till Tracy Morgan told me that I had it. I had no idea. And then I was kind of like surprised and elated, and then I got on with my life.
All right, cool,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, huge fan. You're
Thank you.
fabulous. So you've worked with a lot of really amazing other actors before. So who's your favorite or most memorable person you've worked with?
Who's my most memorable? Well, you know, the most memorable, of course, is Patrick, isn't it? And because of Swayze, I got the job. So I remember it because he really sort of handed it to me. Because they didn't want me originally. They wanted somebody less knowable. I don't know what that meant, but, you know. They said, you'll take people out of the movie. And so when they hired Patrick, he said, does Whoopi Goldberg not want to do this movie? And they said, well, we haven't gone to her because she's too famous. And he was like, what? He said, I'm not going to do this movie unless we at least audition with her. And so that's how I got the gig, because they got to where I was. We took one look at each other, started laughing. That was all she wrote. I loved him. I loved him deeply and dearly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I just wanted to know what was your experience working with the Muppets?
I love the Muppets. I have always wanted to be a puppeteer because I grew up down the block from Bill and Cora Baird's Marionette Theater. And so my mother would take us to see these great puppet shows. And so I loved them. And then I started messing around with them, you know, about 20 years ago and playing. And so, you know, they are kind enough to let me come and play when I can. And one day I'm going to reintroduce the Rasta Rats. Do you remember the Rasta Rats?
No woman, no cry.
They are the greatest. They used to carry things in their hands, but they made them get rid of them.
Things.
Well, things, yeah. You know. So I loved it. I love them. I love them. I can't get enough of the Muppets.
Unfortunately, we got time for, I think, one, maybe two more.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. My name is Alex. The two favorite movies that you were in was, of course, The Associate, and when you were the basketball coach in Eddie. Just wish you could have filmed that in Philadelphia. Question is, working with somebody like Dennis Farina, when you were, you know, he did not want you in the role, not Dennis Farina, but his character did not want you anywhere near his team. It played off good. Do you think that, you know, that was, you know, is that one of your favorite movies? Is that The Associate, or do you have something that might be a little bit different? If you could talk about those two movies.
Well, as I said, my favorite movie is Lion King. But listen, I've had some great characters. I've played a lot of great characters, and I've worked with great people like Dennis Farina. I loved Dennis. because he was just fun, you know. And so, you know, maybe they'll start making some fun stuff again, and I can participate. But it's hard because I have a daily gig, you know. So they don't like it when I'm not on TV. So
like it more in the movies.
Well, but you know, ABC is paying me. You know how they are. You know, they demand your attention. So it'll be a little while before I do a full on like that. But wow.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
There's a box. Welcome.
Yeah. There's a box.
Hey.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and let that marinate. So this isn't fair. I'm curious to know what that question would have been. From the box.
Well, my question to the box would have. My question to the box would have been, how do you navigate the rain? You're me. Holy smokes. I thought you looked familiar. That's one of the what was the name of that movie? Page Master, where I'm this magical book.
Oh!
And that's me. Please forgive me, it's been so long, I totally forgot. But it slowly came to me.
Come through that door over there. There's a door over there. Come up on.
There's a book trying to get to me.
Real quick, what's your question? Last one, real quick.
Wait, I got it. Okay, this is what I'm telling you guys. If you just ask me the question, I'll do rapid fire answers, okay? You first.
You seem like a pretty big fan of Star Trek, so who's your favorite Star Trek character?
My favorite Star Trek character is Uhura.
Okay, so one of my favorite movies that you've been in is Rat Race. And I was wondering what your time on the set was like.
I had a blast on that set. Cuba Gooding Jr. kept dropping his pants, showing his butt. People were falling down off the thing. Trucks were going up all kinds of ways. It was a great time. John Cleese, crazy and fun. Madam.
Hi, Whoopi. My name's Loretta. Could you just give a couple of sentences about Ruby Dee and Maya Angelou?
They were great women.
Hi, Whoopi. My name is Kathy, and this is my son Sam.
I remember you.
I have another son, Sean, who's not able to be with us today. Sean has cerebral palsy, and he's not able to talk, but his favorite movie that you do is Burglar. He laughs so loud, however, at Burglar that the neighbors probably think we're killing him. And,
he's laughing now.
I just wanted to tell you that we just want to thank you for everything you do with your life, because we're here today because we wanted to meet the woman that brings so much joy to our family.
The next generation, Guinan always seemed to have a special and mysterious wisdom which always turned out to be correct. What did you think about in Generations having that explained?
Say that one more time.
When Picard had problems, Guinan usually helped him out, but one never knew where Guinan got her information or intuition from. Now in Generations we found out that a part of Guinan is in the Nexus and can access all space and time.
Right.
So how did you feel about her becoming less mysterious?
Oh, I don't think she was less mysterious. You still don't know what her relationship to Picard was, do you? One more and I'm out.
Hi, my name is Justin Stephen Fossa. I'm from Palmyra, Pennsylvania, and I'm one of their autistics. I was wondering, would you support autism awareness?
I think so. Yes.
And also, I'm one of your hugest fans. I've seen almost every one of your movies. And my most favorite movie was The Page Master and The Color Purple.
Thank you. I'm meeting the book right now. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Whoopi Goldberg.